I am joined with the man, the myth, the legend of the brother, Tip Top Tottenham, Lane F. We are here to talk about Spurs. And now that the January transfer window has closed, we are incredibly excited with the signings that we have gotten, including Matthias Mattis. I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce his name. Tell. Fantastic signing, in my opinion. I've studied up on the player a bit more. Although I've been following him for a few years, I think he's really going to help out in a lot of ways with our forward line by adding some new skills that we don't really have by a lot of players. In my opinion, he is a direct dribbler and he also creates a lot of shots on goal. He likes to take players on, which is something we don't have a lot of in our forward line, especially with our wingers, in my opinion. I'm very excited about the signing, Lane. I'm going to take this to you. How do you feel about Matthias Tell? What do you think he's going to be adding to the forward line moving forward?
When I first heard about Tell was when you started following Bayern when Kane went, and you saw him when they signed him. I forgot where they signed him from, but you thought he was the truth, and you were right.
Yes.
Um, I do feel like there's a little bit of an issue. He's great. He can play anywhere, but he's best on the left. In my
Right.
opinion, from what I've seen, he's best on the left, and that's not necessarily what we need right now. We need somebody who can play on the right. So it would be interesting to see versus Liverpool. Great signing. I can't believe we fleeced United like that. I don't know if you call it fleece. We had to pay a $10 million loan fee, but we needed him, got him
Yeah.
in. Daniel Levy is trying to win. Daniel Levy is trying to win. He saw United was in for him and was like, no, we'll pay whatever the loan fee needs to be as long as he doesn't go to the Europa League rival. I love it. Tell he can, like you said, he likes to take people on 1v1. We like to isolate our wingers, play direct passes to them 1v1, have them play low crosses in front of the goal. I can see him doing that on the right. I can't really see him taking on people 1v1 on the right. We'll see how that works out, especially not. It's Andy Robertson, so that'll be a great first matchup for him. I'm super excited, as you can tell by my voice. I
Yeah.
can't believe he pulled this off.
Fantastic. I'll
Um,
quickly go into the story and just get your thoughts on that, how the saga unfolded. Obviously, it was widely reported that multiple clubs were in for him after he surprisingly announced that he wasn't returning to Bayern for at least the rest of the season. United, Chelsea, maybe even, and Spurs were in for the player at first. Then it started to get more concrete with Tottenham. Maybe this could actually be happening. And Levy goes to fly out into Germany to personally get rejected only by Matthias Tell. And we thought the saga was over there. Yep, another player rejected. It's over. And Postacoglu makes the call. And it changed everything. Truthfully, this man has a way with words. He must, because every player who talks to this guy on the phone ends up signing for the club. Very excited with how it all unfolded in very, very late in January, like true Spurs fashion of how Enoch and Levy like to do business, it seems, in this transfer window. But unbelievable. Very, very happy. The number 11 shirt. And he really adds a new dynamic, like I said, with, I mean, the creativity may not be there as much in terms of creating assists and chances like that when I've really studied him more. But in terms of scoring goals and taking players on, it's exactly what we need. And he really adds a new dimension to our forward line. Lane, we're going to take it to you. What do you think our best front three is now and in what position? Or do you think that there's multiple ways that Ange could go about starting this game versus Liverpool in the positions for the forward line?
yeah, there's a few questions in there. Our best 11 and the 11 that I think we should start for the rest of the season are two different things because the season's gone, right? In the league, at least, the season's gone. We should be focusing on the Europa League. That's when we'll play our best front. And it's still Son on the left. As I know it's going to be a big shock for everybody. It's going to be heartbreaking whenever Son does get dropped or Son leaves. The time is coming there, but he's our captain. It's still Son on the left. Up front, it's got to be Dom. It's tough because he hasn't really shown much. He hasn't proved stats wise, goals wise, hasn't proved that he's that much better than Richie. But if you're watching these games And when he drops back, he's a beast in 1v1s. He's so strong. He's so big. He loves to come back and win the ball back. Reminds me a lot of Harry Kane.
I,
I can say.
I completely agree with what you're saying there. And I think I may prefer Solanke over Richarlison, but I think he's actually injured right now, Solanke. So I think Richarlison will have to be starting against
Oh, I thought
Liverpool.
you were saying just our best front three with all of our players right now, not of who's available for Liverpool. I was
Oh, no,
confused.
I was just mentioning more towards Liverpool.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, I mean, do we start Tell up front and Richie on the right? No.
No,
I, it,
I think it's
Even
much
though
more
that's
likely
I
that
would
Tell
prefer to do
plays.
that.
Yeah.
But
I
so
think
yeah,
Ange may start him at striker, but it could be right wing as well. I definitely think he's starting no matter what, truthfully. But I didn't mean to
yeah.
interrupt your thought before. So you think Son and then Solanke and then who's playing right wing for like the best available 11 right winger front line?
It's still Brennan. It's got to be
Okay,
Brennan. He's on fire. He's just bagging in goals it's ridiculous. We'll have some depth up front if we can ever stay healthy, which you know is never going to happen with our luck. We do have a very good attack, and you have Kulisevsky coming out of the midfield now. Madison is also on a tear. I mean, it's tough. There's a lot of competition up there. There's not that much competition in the back, though. I'll tell you
no,
that.
there's not. No, there's not. Transitioning to that, we'll briefly speak on the new defender, obviously, that was brought in really late. Kevin Danzo, the Austrian, I believe, Austrian center back. Quickly, just what are your thoughts on the player? Are you excited about the signing?
Very excited. We need bodies, first off. We also, I love to have tall and fast defenders, especially in this system. We need to have legs back there. You need to be able to track back.
For
You need to
sure.
be able to run down Gakpo. You need to be able to run down Mohamed Salah. So I like to see that. Haven't seen a single Lons game this season. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I know that we hijacked him from Wolves. So if they were interested, he can't be terrible, right? So we'll see
Yeah.
how that works out. I like that we did bring a center back in, at least some defender in. I think we also needed a wing back, a left back in specific. But I like that we got a good, big, strong defender in. We'll see how that works out. He broke Mbappe's nose in the Euros, so we'll see.
Did he really?
Yeah, we'll see if he can break Havertz's nose.
That's exciting, man. So I'm curious to hear transitioning now to the Liverpool match coming up here. Arguably the biggest of the season. I think this is the fitting way to end our conversation now. What are your thoughts on this upcoming game? Is there any way that Spurs can advance to the final? We're a goal up, aren't we? But going to the Anfield or going to Anfield, rather, it's a tall, tall drink of water that you're going to have to somehow quench. I mean, it is a tough tie. What are your opinions on probably the biggest match of the season?
Yeah, I agree. It's 100% the biggest match of the season. Levy's already said he's put these stipulations out saying if he doesn't win, he's gone or on very thin ice at that point. So it's definitely the biggest game. Kinski, it's gonna be a day for you. First leg was great, brother. Let's see how it happens again. What most people would say is you would want to drop back and play very defensive, try and hold on to your lead and strike on the counterattack. You know we're not going to do that. Everybody
Yeah.
who's ever seen a Tottenham game or since Andrew's been the boss, we're not going to do that. That wouldn't work out for us anyways. We couldn't stop. If we sat back, they would score 5 goals on us. It's
Yeah.
not like that's going to happen. So we have to go for it. We have to go for the win. We've proven that we could do it, and we have more. We have more to work with now. So Liverpool's not too worried about. I mean, of course they don't want to lose it, but they're not too worried about that right now. It's
So,
there for the taking. It's there for us.
man, it could be a really special night. I just can't think of hardly any time. No, I take that back actually. There was a Premier League game within at least the last four times that we went to Anfield where we got a 2-2 draw, I believe. And that's all it takes. You know, it's all it takes. You don't have to win. But I know Ange, like you had said, he's gonna go after the game. And that's the only way you can really beat teams like City and Liverpool. I mean, they have quality galore. So the only
Mm-hmm.
way that you're gonna beat them is by taking the game to them. I believe there was a comparison that Hikaru or Magnus Carlsen, chess grandmasters, made saying like you can't reach grandmaster level if you don't try and take the game to your opponent. And you can, sit back and play more defensively. That may be easier in a lot of ways, but you can't become the best of the best without taking games to people. And, making the analogy back to soccer, I think it's more entertaining to watch. So that's how I would prefer my managerial style. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I'm Ange in. It's really, I mean, a really,
Winning
really
football. We're
special
playing
game.
winning football.
True. It's a really special
Trying to
game
win
coming up.
games.
I hope we can get it done.
I love it. I love the transfer window. Um, how do you feel? I want to ask you because we just saw this morning with the entire Tell situation. We needed him, obviously, but how do you feel about the deal as a whole?
I think it's probably a bit expensive for the player's experience, but I mean, and truthfully, I think that's today's market. If you're going to get a young, really talented player who can change games by themselves, it's going to cost a lot of money. I know Spurs and Tottenham, the relationship we've had recently with Kane and Dyer has at least probably built some good graces. And I know it's been rumored that there was some Kane money left over. I don't know. I mean, the specifics, but I'm sure that was, if it's true, was rolled into the Matthias Tell deal as well. So there's Levy's fingerprints all over it. I did mention as well how he added the buy-on clause at the very end when it was reportedly came out after we got the here we go. I believe at first that it was just a loan. So I mean, you could see Levy's fingerprints over it, but definitely one of the best signings in his tenure. There's no doubt about that. I know he
I
spent
love it.
more money for Solanke. I believe he spent more money on Solanke, but I mean, Tell he doesn't have the Premier League experience, but he's young, so he's got time to grow, and he's got the it factor. You just watch him, and I mean, very exciting signing. Truthfully, I think he can change games by himself for Spurs, and hopefully he does that on Thursday. Gets him a goal or assist, hopefully a goal, and then he just carries that form on to Sunday. So, any final thoughts, Lane? I appreciate your time in this conversation.
Yeah. I do have a few thoughts to be fair. I just like how Ange or not Ange, Levy's been showing some heart recently, just especially under Ange or while Ange has been the manager. We've made some really big signings, some winning signings like Madison and Solanke, some near record signings for the club. He's really backing
They
Ange. He's
are record
trying
signings. They are.
right. And we've always said, oh, we're the richest club in London, we're the richest club, yada yada yada. We haven't acted like it until now. People are like, $10 million for 4 months. I don't care. We're trying to win. If United wants him and we're trying to win the Europa League, I don't care how much it costs. Give me him. We're
Yeah.
trying to win. I don't care what the price is. None of that, bro. Let's win. And I like that I'm seeing that from Levy, which is I haven't seen in a long time. Nobody's ever really seen it. So
Yeah.
I love that mentality is sort of coming in from Ange.
It's great. Truthfully, he's backed Levy, or I'm sorry, Levy has backed Ange probably the most out of any manager since I've been following the team. It seems like, and the fans, for the most part, I know there's been a clip or two that some idiot fans are berating him at the matches, saying rude things to him. But the majority of the fan base, the intelligent, sane people, don't think that getting rid of him would make the football or probably the results much better. I mean, definitely not
Just
the
bails Levy out.
yeah. So I'm very excited that the future is starting to look a little brighter. Hopefully, the worst is behind us with that poor run of form the last couple of months in the league. And in a week, we could be having a different conversation, being depressed that we're out of everything but Europa. But I think relegation is not a real possibility. And I don't think European football is a real possibility either. So we're kind of just in the cups here. I don't know. If we could somehow finish seventh, well, if we win the Europa, then we'd make the
That's what I
Champions
was
League,
gonna
which would be
say.
hilarious. That'd be hilarious. That would be very, very funny.
Be in the Champions League and the championship in the same season.
Bro, imagine winning, yeah, getting relegated and being in the Champions League. That would be something. That would be something that would only happen to Spurs. But
Right.
great talking to you, bro. Any
All
other
right,
final
man. That was
thoughts?
great fun.
Yeah. I hope you have a good
Thank y'all
night.
for watching. Y'all subscribe. Y'all subscribe. Follow Tip Top Tottenham on everything. He's on everything. Y'all tap in.
Thanks. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, like the video. Let me know your thoughts about the current state of Tottenham. What do you think the score of the Liverpool match is going to be? I hope you have an incredible rest of your day, Lane. Thank you for your time again.
Come
We'll
on,
see
you
you in the next one.
Spurs.
Peace. Come on, you Spurs.